Hey guys, Kamal here, and want to just quickly talk about growing businesses. And what most people do when they try to grow their business is they're going to attempt to just add more to what they've already got. And I think that's the way to growth, doing more of the same stuff essentially as the pathway to growth. But there's the same process that we take all of our clients through, and the process that has really established businesses that are quite large and allows them to rapidly expand. It's the same process that we look at when we've got small businesses that are just in the kind of startup micro phase, and they're wanting to grow. And it's a really simple formula. So I thought I'd show it to you right now, share it with you now. So look, essentially the formula is this. You've got our Venn diagrams, hey? So what we want to do inside of the businesses, the first thing we do is we simplify, then we automate, and then we replicate. Most business owners I speak to are really quick to want to automate and replicate. I want to build systems and grow, But before we get there, we've got to work out what's happening here, because if there's something broken in this simplify region, if the business has complexity where complexity doesn't need to be, then what we do when we automate and replicate is we grow and scale that complexity, which is just ridiculous. Okay, so and it will bust a lot of businesses. So here's what we do inside of that. So the first thing I look at in all these businesses, you can imagine this has its own little areas, and there are three elements to each of these. Now inside of Simplify, which is what we're going to talk about today, what we do is three things. We really work on how do we attract more clients, how do we convert more prospects, I should say? How do we convert those prospects into clients? And then how do we go about delivering so that we're able to really look after them and make sure that they want to send people back to us and they want to refer people back, which of course means that the delivery process feeds the attract. Okay. The other thing then, once we've got this down pat, once we've worked on scaling this, then we move into the 1, 2, 3 steps of automation. Once we've got the automation, then we go into replicate. So here's the thing. If you're wanting to grow your business right now, the first thing, and it doesn't matter how well established the business is, think about, oh, Michael's there. Hello, mate. How you going? Think about how can I first simplify? Where have we built complexity into this business where complexity doesn't need to be? And I've got clients who have got ridiculously simple businesses, but by the time when we start working together, they are so complex and it's just impossible to get our head around. And they're like, help us grow the business. The first thing we do is we pull out 80% of the process and just throw it out the window and say, what is the core operation in this? So how do we simplify those areas of the business? And then you've got to work out which area of your business do you need to boost right now? And what that means is, when you go and look at this model, which area of the business do I need to simplify? So if you want to generate more leads, you've got to simplify the way in which you attract more leads, okay? So the problem you have if you don't simplify it is you just end up with many sources. So you end up with multiple sources. You try and get leads off Facebook. You try and get leads from, flyers under car windows. You'll try and get leads from referrals and you have all of these multiple sources trying to get them in, looking for that little golden highway. Okay, so one of the things that we first do is we go, right, the first thing we're going to do is you're going to look at your number one source. And we go one source for one product for one time period, usually 1 month or even up to 1 year. How do we really simplify to bring in number one? Or maybe you generate lots of leads in the business, but you're not able to convert, and that ends up essentially leaving you frustrated and really, quite frankly, burnt out. Because when you got lots of leads and you're having tons of conversations and you're not actually converting any, the ego takes a bit of a hit and you end up a little bit burnt out. Okay, so what we have to do is overcome that frustration, and we've got to go, well, what is the thing that we can do when you're going through that process and you continually, you're not able to convert? And the number one thing that we do is we build sales scripts and we automate the sales process. And people hate having sales scripts, especially like in Australia. But the reality is that scripts work really well to convert higher at a higher percentage and do so much of the heavy lifting for you. And so that's what we do with conversion. Maybe you get lots of leads. Maybe you're really good at selling, in which case you come across the third problem. And the third problem is, well, I've actually got too many people. How can I deliver to all these guys? Sorry, I just realized we're off screen here. Let me actually, maybe I can just move my camera a bit. Oh, look at that. The wonders of tech. Maybe delivery is an issue because you're attracting lots of leads and you actually convert. You're very good at selling, and now it's like I've got too many people to be able to deliver to. And the worse than you being frustrated here is your client ends up frustrated because they're not getting the depth of what you can really offer them. Okay, so if it's a delivery conversation, then we have a look at your business model and we might reshape and remodel the business. So what most people want to do is they want to go straight to automate, straight to replicate. And you've heard the saying, sell them what they want, give them what they need. People want to grow their business, so we sell the concept of automating and scaling your business, what they really need. I'd say 80% of the time, I think it's more like 95% of the time, is they need a simplification in order to then scale. So if that's you, make sure that you just flip it a bit and ask yourself the question, how can I simplify one part of this process? And of course, if you'd like any help with that, it's the conversation that we have all day, every day. So, make a comment. We'll reach out to you and talk about what the process could look like for your business. But now's the time of year to do it, especially if you're really busy in the lead up to Christmas, and then you're going to go into January, which is a lull. If you try and build your business while you're in that lull, it's going to take a lot of energy to get traction. Most people feel like they're way too busy now to start this, but we have to start it now in order to build that traction in January. So we're working with a lot of clients right now on not now to Christmas. The clients we're working on now is about what do we do January, February, always thinking those few months ahead. All right, guys. So, look, I trust you got some great value, and not sure who's on there now. I'm trying out some new tech, so I can see there's viewers. I can't see who's viewing. Love you guys, and you stay amazing. And of course, reach out if you want to have conversations around scaling and growing your business. That's exactly what we're here to do. You stay amazing.